This is KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode with the Teal Boys, the Teal Guys, Teal Bros. It's another episode of Currently on No Other Pod. I'm here with my good buddy, dare I say best friend, Chris Wright. I'm Daniel Kooser. Chris, my God, what's going on, man? There was not an NWSL game to talk about. What are we doing here?
I mean, I can't think of a better introduction or compliment that I've ever had in my life.
That's what we do.
But I love it. But man, I think we had a pretty good weekend on, was it Sunday or Saturday?
What are we talking about?
Sporting getting a pretty big victory.
When it's late Sunday night, you start forgetting what days they are.
I don't know. It's the weekend. I don't know.
People got school in the morning, work in the morning, but I went to work like this. just jazzed up, bro. Most people on a Monday are looking like this, and I was like, morning, good morning.
Somebody's holding the door open. You just kind of do that little dance into your seat.
Just dance through the door like that. It's hell of a time. I'm holding doors for everybody, even though they're like 20 feet away. I'm like, I got you.
Then they have to run up to it because they feel peer pressured.
Don't you hate that? That's the worst.
No.
Go on without me.
You started some controversy a little bit on your last sporting pod, man.
You know,
not even controversy. It's silly, but I'm entertained as a friend and as a fan.
I don't know why. I don't know why that happened. I like the spotlight, but only like within my bubble. I'm not trying to go be part of other bubbles. I very much want to stay, under the radar. I don't really want the exposure, but I do like a little bit of exposure, just not too much. So when all that is kicking off last night, I was like getting a little anxious. I was like, I was getting red face a little bit. I was like, I don't really like this that much. I was kind of texting my wife, texting you and Jimmy a little bit to keep me from saying some stupid shit. Because I could go off and get a little hot. I push people,
you push your own teammates in soccer. So what do you?
I gotta, sometimes you just gotta take a breath, and it's therapy's a glorious thing.
I mean, not clout chasing. That I know. You post like 3 times a year. That's not a retweet. So
I'm not even interested in posting. I think so. Follow me at Dan Kooser. Hell of a follow. Dude. We're deep within the NWSL playoffs. Games took a break this week, which is an interesting thing to talk about in its own because playoffs are all about form and momentum. And you're like winning these games and progressing, and then we're going to take an international break for all you people that care more about that than club soccer, which is, I don't think that's many people, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I think a lot of club fans are like, man, wish we didn't have to take this break right now. But don't get me wrong, MLS is about to do it too. They take a week off in between this first round and the conference semis. So it's just a weird time.
Not uncommon, but if I'm a team in the playoffs and I was in good form, probably wouldn't be very thrilled.
I know. And you think about, USW&T had some games.
We did.
Players that are actually in the playoffs were playing in these games. So that's kind of interesting. So they technically are staying in form, right? Fresh and keep their legs moving and stuff like that. Because when you stop moving, you die. I've noticed that. When you stop moving your legs, they put the brakes on, baby, and it's not fun.
Exactly. Take a long flight and then get up and walk around, and you'll know exactly how that feels.
Listen, we're talking about a long flight soon. We're talking international trips. All right, maybe an international Disney park.
Wouldn't that be Paris again? You think of Paris?
No, we're talking maybe China.
Whoa, okay.
Right? A little Shanghai, a little Beijing, maybe some Hong Kong. Hell of a time, dude. I'm nervous about it. That's why I'm talking too much. But it's I've never been.
You should, man. I've never been to China, but I would love to go.
Well, hell yeah. Dude, the teams still in these playoffs, by the way. We talked about it last week. Gotham and Portland, OL and San Diego. Gotham's momentum, we just mentioned that, it could get burnt. Because they just snuck into the playoffs, relying on all this momentum, all this steam full steam ahead, and now you got to halt it for a week. What does that, what's that do to the team? It's going to make their time in Portland very hard.
Well, you kind of hit on it a moment ago. A lot of these teams have players in that play for national teams. So like Lynn Williams got to play, Alex
Morgan played, right?
Alex Morgan played. Jaden Shaw had her very first women's national team goal. She plays for the Wave.
Right. Trinity Rodman played. Oh, wait, she's not in the playoffs because she got a red card. Had to throw it out there.
Sophia Smith, I believe, played as well. So, she got her legs back under her. She's recovering from that knee injury as well.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if she's 100%. She's probably getting pretty close. But one thing that stuck out to me here real quick is both games are on the CBS Sports Network. You know how much that sucks? Like, how many people actually have CBS Sports Network? Not many.
Well, it does suck for people, not me. But I think that, but it does. You're right. I mean, when you got the Paramount Plus situation going on, or even throw it on big CBS to where all the other people can put on there, you get it via antenna, for God's sakes. You get an antenna out there.
Yeah.
But now CBS Sports Network's a little more difficult. There is an app if you can get someone's cable login or something. I mean, that's the thing. You get someone with cable, man. Do you got some parents? Your parents haven't cut the cord yet. You hit up your parents. You're like, hey, what do you think? You want some money? Like, can we go halvesies on this? Or do you care just giving me the password? That's where it is. Think about it, y'all.
Just go talk to your grandparents. They have cable too, right? They're out there watching their CBS or Fox News or CNN or whatever. Go get it from them.
They'll probably tell you, I don't know. Can you set up the password for me? And you're like, I got you. And then boom, you're in on it. I mean,
you have it for life.
Knows.
You have it for a while.
Yeah. Our producer, Nick, knows. He uses his parents' login. They probably forget that you even use it. So I'm sorry, guys, if you're not using your parents' login, what are you doing? I mean, as Eddie Guerrero said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Like, what? I don't see the problem.
I'm with you. I'm right there with you, man. Do you, taking a look at those two games again, do you still stand by your picks? I believe you picked Gotham and San Diego, if I remember correctly. I picked Portland and San Diego. Do you still stick with those?
Sure. Why not? I think the break could hurt Gotham, honestly. I think when we spoke about it last week, I did not anticipate the international break. I brain farted or something. Wasn't thinking about that. But that does have an effect on teams, man. We're seeing it right now with Sporting, who just murdered St. Louis at St. Louis. That's crazy. St. Louis had, well, what am I saying? No, they didn't. They didn't have a break. But we played midweek. They didn't have to play midweek. So we're just kind of full steam ahead. We're in that form.
Yeah.
This could hurt Gotham. We'll have to see.
Very much so. Did you, by chance, get to watch any of the international games? Brazil, they played Canada twice, and then Denmark played Wales. Did you get to watch any of those?
No, didn't see those. I did watch the USA ones, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Denmark beat Wales 2-1.
Balasanger play?
Yep, she played all 90. And then in the first game, Brazil beat Canada 1-0, and Dabinha had a goal there. It was a late minute goal. I think it was in extra time. So stole that one out from Canada. So I love it. And then in their second game, Canada beat Brazil, I think, 2-0. So.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, good. Everyone stayed healthy. Everyone's good.
Everyone's good, healthy, no injuries. So that's always a great thing.
Did you watch them? Where were they streaming?
I just found a stream. I caught a little bit of the second Brazil-Canada game, but I saw some highlights of the first one. So I saw the Dabinha goal. So it's always nice to see.
Okay. Very cool. Dude, streams, man. That's how I used to watch NFL on NFL Sunday. I didn't have Red Zone. So I could watch my local stuff, the Chiefs games and whatnot, even when they were bad, way back when. But I would watch some German streams, man, and their commercials would be like, Guten Morgen! And it was so much, but it sounded so happy. And I was like, damn, these commercials make me want to like go drink some German beer, man, and eat some sausage or whatever. It's hell of a time.
And it freezes, it pixelates, and it has like the buffering, and
it does. And you plug it into your TV via HDMI, you know, because casting, I don't think was really a thing when I was doing this.
And then the quality was so bad because it like expanded. So the quality was really bad. And you're like, I might go back to my phone and my computer.
The things you do on NFL Sundays, man, eating a whole Papa Murphy's pizza, whatever you can do. Dude, God, look at that stuff. The stuff we had to do, man. You ever have a TiVo?
I did not. I did not have a TiVo. I know of it. I had some friends that had it, but I did not.
Well, everyone's got a DVR these days. Everyone knows what a DVR is. I bought a freaking TiVo, man, that like hooked into your cable, and I was recording stuff, and it, you know, it was fine. But I was like, what am I doing? I'm just an addict. Like, I'm just recording all this TV for no damn reason. I can't watch it all. It's wild. Hell of a time.
Times have changed. It's wild.
Sure have. By the way, folks, you might go to your parents and say, hey, what's your cable login? They'll be like, oh, we cut the cord last year. Welcome to the future, mama. That's what it's about. That would be, man, my boss said he cut the cord recently, and I was like, my man, look at you. Look at you coming into the future.
Ugh. Yeah, it's been, my grandma still has cable, so I might have to go see if I can sneak a password or two from her. She has no idea what it even is. Like, she has no idea, but, you know, no, she doesn't need to know.
You say, Grandma, do you even watch that much TV? Like, let me watch it for you. Like, bro, once you, I don't want to say steal the password. Once you share the password and you use it, you can log into any TV app that she has, man. Like from CBS Sports Network to Fox Sports 1, whatever you want to do, you can get it. How great is that?
And Grandma, if you want any streaming service passwords, you come to me. I'll hook you up.
She listen to this?
I don't even think she has internet. So
does she know you do? Does she know you do a podcast, Chris?
I don't think I've ever told her.
Okay.
I don't think she has any interest. She has no. I don't even think she knows what a podcast is. But
you should do some bonding and educate her.
Yeah. Send her a YouTube link on her flip phone. I can do that.
Oh boy. Yeah, then I'd have to pick up the phone and talk to her once in a while. Have to be a good grandson on that. That'd be hard. Look, I don't know what happened, but this man just froze in the most hilarious of ways. There he is.
I am back. Nick, you might have to cut that.
Nah, don't cut that. Don't cut that. That's a great face. If that stays in there, that face was. Is
that going to be shocked. Like the main picture on the YouTube graphic?
It looked offended that I would dare say something about Granny. You were just like,
I don't even think she knows what a podcast is.
Yeah, well, we're going to thumbnail the hell out of that, and you should send it to her and be like, this is what I was like when my friend was making fun of you. This was my face. Hey, let's get into some KC Current stuff here in a bit, but before that, why don't we take a quick break, all right? Let's do that.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network. Make sure you download our new app. Find it on the App Store or Google Play. Just search KC Sports Network.
Oh, Chris, I don't want to be the subject of St. Louis City fans. I don't want people mentioning me in their tweets. I don't like it. I just want to be hidden, okay? I don't know, because I'm going to clap back, dude. I'm going to clap back and get myself canceled. I'm going to get mean because I don't fight fair. And now people are calling us petty when I'm like, I don't know if you all know, but I play a caricature of myself on these shows. I am a characterized version of Daniel Kooser on this show. Fair to say?
Fair.
I'm not this in regular life at all. That's why this is fun for me. But like when you want to start calling us petty, then by God, I'm going to erupt with uproarious laughter if we win on Sunday. If Sporting wins on Sunday, I'll show you petty.
Well, you should do, Dan. You should try traveling to an away game You should try one of those sometime.
Dude, Daniel Sperry said these guys have been to more away games than you've had away games. And I'm like, that's so true. It's unbelievably true. And I didn't like the borderline. I know I should address this on no other pod, and I will. But there was borderline threat in saying, go ahead and try to kick us out of the seats. And I was like, I mean, I will, because it's the seat I paid for. It's numbered. It's on my ticket. I don't have GA. Get your ass out. I'm going to enjoy this when it comes time to tell someone, hey, there's my tickets. Goodbye.
So, side note here, whenever because we sit next to each other for Sporting and the Current, right? We're season ticket holders. We show up late.
Ish. We show up on time.
We get there. I sit on the inside of the seat. So I usually have the responsibility to go say, hey, you're in the wrong spot. Here's my ticket.
Well, you have martial arts training. I make you do that.
I don't have those sweet traps or biceps, but I'll have to.
It's glamour. This is all glamour. I cannot go. That's what you do.
But I mean, I'll grab him on the ground and try and put him in a triangle choke. That's about all I got. But just simple jujitsu.
It's all simple, of course.
But if you want to, you could take that role because we're going to get there. There's going to be people probably sitting in that GA.
Yeah.
And you can have that. Yeah, it's going to happen. It always does. You could have that moment where you could say, hey, you're in the wrong seat. And the other seats are full. So now you might have to stand.
Yeah, they'll have to. It's going to be wild. They're going to be mad. And I just didn't like that. I didn't like when he's like, yeah, you could try to kick us out. And I'm like, well, I will. Because we bought those for the year. Like, I don't know what you mean.
I think it's going to be entertaining for me to just be next to you. Because if people watch that video, if St. Louis fans watched it, they're probably going to say something to you, right? They're probably going to say something. And I'm just going to be there. Maybe.
I'm going to be
watching.
Be like, I don't know who you're talking about. It's not me. It's not me at all. My hair will be up. I'll be a different person.
That's fair. We went off on a side tangent, by the way.
I don't like being in the mainstream, my friend. I don't like it. I don't want to run for office. I don't want to do any of that shit. I just want to be in my little bubble and just coast on through life. That's where I'm at. I'm fine coasting.
Just talk soccer. Have a good time.
Absolutely. Just having a good time. It's an ingest. So, anyways, back to the women's side of things where Kansas City Current is partnering with Good Energy Solutions and doing a little solar paneling at the new stadium. Is that right?
It is, man. This is big time, sir. I think one of only a few stadiums are going to be LEED Gold certified.
Okay. I don't know what that is, but it sounds good.
They're installing a solar array that will produce roughly 100,000 kilowatt hours of energy annually, which is roughly the equivalent of burning 70,000 pounds of coal. So we are going into the future, my friend. Credit to the stadium. Credit for, this ownership group for making this a priority. And they even mentioned it when the stadium was built. They talked about using native plants, right? Using, being conscious of how they use their water resources. Just making sure this is a sustainable stadium that can last for a very long time, that down the road can pay itself off in terms of energy, right? They'll probably be able to produce more than it'll use. And it's just something I love to see.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I'm seeing here that, the power generated each year by the National Women's Soccer League facilities is enough energy to charge 150 million smartphones. That's a weird way to measure things, but this hearing 150 million anything is quite a bit.
Yeah.
But sustainability, man. I've always been interested in perhaps having solar panels on my house. I think that'd be kind of cool. That's one of those things that costs a lot up front, but supposedly pays for itself over time, right?
With government, like state and government or federal subsidies, like they'll help pay for your solar panels.
Yeah.
The warranty on those are typically about 30 years. So they should last about 30 years. And that's for a home. I don't know about something of this magnitude. So yeah, it absolutely will. And they're getting better and better and better as time goes on. They're becoming more and more efficient. So
yeah,
I love it. And the company they're partnering with is actually a Lawrence-based company. So again, keeping, all this money, keeping all these resources inside the Kansas City greater area community.
Love that. Also, dude, sticking on that subject of local, you're talking, they renew their partnership with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City as their official health insurance partner. So that's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, they already had a good partnership with them. I know that, Sporting does as well, right? Blue KC, Sporting Samaritan, they always do that.
Yeah.
So this is neat. I mean, they have a good relationship with that. They probably offer health insurance through them and stuff like that, and certain things for their players, right? I know they've been doing that mental health sideline the stigma initiative that they started with them for the past 2 seasons. So that's been kind of neat, having various workshops about and conversations about mental health with KC current players and all that.
Yeah, I love it. I think women's sports does a much better job to address those issues and concerns than the male sports. So,
I do. Let me talk to you here. I love conversations about mental health because, I mean, it doesn't seem like that long ago, with at least in my circle, my little bubble, you didn't talk about that stuff. You didn't bring it up, and you also aren't aware of things like that. I find myself now, I mean, dude, your watches will remind you during the day, hey, log how you're feeling. How's things going at 2 p.m. today? You might start feeling sad. And instead of just spiraling, you're like, whoa, what's making me feel sad right now? I don't know. My maturity has grown immensely because of that mental health conversation. You and I never talk about it, though. So if you ever need someone to talk about it, you can talk to me anytime, man.
Will do. You're my best friend, as you said at the beginning of the pod. So I know I can go to you.
You ain't gonna talk about it. You're too serious. That's what it is. Dude, if we why don't we just stay local here? Why don't we stay local and talk about a new stadium vendor? I love this, by the way. A little precursor. KC Current is announcing a new stadium vendor, restaurant, whatever you want to call it, every Tuesday this offseason. And
Teal
I'm like,
Tuesday.
Whoa. What do they call it?
Teal Tuesday.
Teal Tuesday. Love that. Dude, what a fun way to spend the off season and look forward to Tuesday. What's going to be next? It's like an advent calendar, man. What are you going to get the next day? Is it a piece of chocolate? Is it some booze? Little figurine of some sort? Do you ever do advent calendars?
I did when I was a kid.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and I always ate the chocolate early. I could never make it. I can never just pace myself day by day. You give me a calendar, I'm eating 30 pieces of chocolate. It's going to happen.
God. Well, if it's a good advent calendar, there's probably only 24 pieces, but we do one every year, man. We've been getting into those miniature Funko Pop advent calendars. We've done a Marvel one, Harry Potter one, Nightmare Before Christmas. It's just little figurines every day. You're like, who do we got? Oh, little Iron Man. There you go. Can't eat them, so it's probably better for you. Since you went all freaking Augustus Gloop all over your parents' advent calendar.
I don't know where it went. It got lost.
Well, this past Tuesday was the next installment of the Teal Tuesday advent calendar. And we got Billy's Grocery coming in as the second restaurant partner in CPKC Stadium. What do you know about Billy's Grocery? Have you heard of them before this announcement?
I'm going to be honest. I've heard of them, but I have never been. But I've only heard great things about them.
So you had heard then?
I've heard of them, yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Players and I've heard other fans talk about it, how much they enjoy it.
Yeah, Morgan Gautrat says it's her favorite place to go out with friends and teammates to get a coffee and have a healthy meal. That sounds very scripted, but it also sounds like it could be true.
When they release, a stadium vendor, do you go and look at that vendor, like their website or their menu?
I have not yet. No, I know this is just, this was 24 hours ago for us, but I have not gone and looked. Are there any veg or vegan options?
There are.
But will it be in the stadium? That's a question.
I think they will, because I remember in the press release, it's part of the press release here. Ensuring the menu offerings are inclusive and delicious to many dietary needs is one of the things about Billy's locations that they do best. So you can't say that and not have some vegan or vegetarian options. And I did look at their menu, and they had a I think it was a black bean burger or something like that. And then they had like a power bowl, like a veggie power bowl. I don't think they'll have that, but I think they'll have something for us.
Well, they're actually going to have teal rice, which is interesting. I don't know if I want my rice to be teal, but obviously you got to try it. You know, I've never, I don't know, little basmati rice that's teal. That just sounds different.
I mean, again, every time they announce a vendor, I just think of how I compare it to sporting, right? About how bad, you know, the options are at Children's Mercy, not in terms of food, but in terms of like local community having an identity. Like, I just love that they're just keeping everything, you know, from the Kansas City area community.
Agreed, man. Agreed. It sounds, I mean, it looks good. I see a little sesame chicken bowl on that picture. Little beverage. That'll be fun. Check. Yeah. Things are just lining up. Things are lining up for some great experiences.
We're spending a lot of money on food. Like, once we start going to the stadium,
there's potential for that. There is. You know, start saving. Get yourself another savings account. Dude, next thing that is very interesting. We're out here signing players. We're out here signing players in October. U.S. Women's Youth National Team forward, Alex Pfeiffer. What do we know about her? Anything?
She's the fourth youngest player in the NWSL ever. Let's see here.
Yeah,
23.
Born when you and I were juniors in college over here. Good stuff.
There's nothing that hits you harder than seeing like an athlete go pro and you see their date of birth.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we're at now. It's time to accept it.
2007.
Yeah.
It
hurts, man. It hurts, but like when you're younger, you're like, I'll get old someday, probably. You don't know.
I still don't consider myself old until I see that.
Yeah.
And it smacks you in your face.
I know.
Your age.
It does, man. If it's not the arthritis, it's the signing of young players, you know?
It's very humbling very quickly. But she was 2023 ECNL Player of the Year, which is a very big deal. She was 2022 and 2023 ECNL, All-American, 2 times ECNL National Champion.
She's in high school, bro. She turned 16 this year. She's a sophomore. She can't legally drive unless it's to and from school. They run that through your head. Her mom, if we were having practices right now, her mom has to take her to practice. That's some weird shit.
It's wild, man. She scored a hat trick in a 3-3 draw against Japan last month.
That sounds impressive.
I just can't get over her. I can't get over how much she's accomplished at the age of 15 and 300 and some days.
Well,
dude, I was playing Mortal Kombat on, I don't even know, Xbox or whatever.
Yeah, maybe.
I was playing WCW NWO Revenge on Nintendo 64. She's out here scoring hat tricks against Japan.
Yeah.
It's wild times.
Oh my God, you're in your college dorm eating ramen noodles, and she's over here making hat tricks, man. God, did you live in the dorms, by the way?
I did not.
You not? You did apartment living?
Apartment living.
Okay.
It was local, so it was cheaper.
Such an adult. Dude, Vlatko Andonovski, our coach, ever heard of him? He said, I'm very excited that Alex will be joining our club. This is a great start for our plans to strengthen the pro player pathway for this club and this region. Alex is someone who can be a great example for players everywhere and can help this club achieve our goals, both near and long term. First of all, if I'm 15 years old and this ex-women's national team coach is saying these things about me, I'm just like, to the moon. I'm feeling so good about myself, right? and I'm just excited to be here.
Yeah.
What's a contract like that look like for a gal like her? Any ideas?
She signed through 2026.
Yeah.
And
really, does that mean she's committed to that salary for 2026?
that I don't know about the salary, but I do know like she can't be traded.
Okay.
Her contract is much more restricted, which obviously makes sense, right? You can't go trade a 16-year-old.
Dude, it can't be.
You can only have two. You can only have two players under 18, like through this program or this pathway.
Okay.
So we do have room for another one. But what I find interesting is she visited in practice with the team back in, I think, last year. So the fact that, she visited with some other youth players, Michelle Cooper and Silkowitz also trained out at the facility. Just something to keep an eye on, right? If you come and practice out there, we got an eye on you. We're scouting you out. So,
well, not to mention when you have the ex-women's national team coach, he also knows the youth coaches, right?
Yeah.
The U23 coaches, the under 18 coaches. Like, he knows those players. He's aware of them. So this is quite the pipeline. The little tree under Vlatko, right? We just call him Vlatko.
Vlatko. I don't want to.
Andonovsky. That's gonna
Yeah.
What are we doing? Hey, it cannot be understated, by the way, that her hat trick in that Japan game, dude. U.S. were down 2-0 in the first 5 minutes, and so she was like, "Let's go, ladies," and scored 3 straight goals in the 13th, the 35th, and the 48th minutes. Just wild. Clearly shows she can score a goal, when she wants to.
And these players who've come up, through this program and skipped college have made major impacts, right? Olivia Moultrie over in Portland. Chloe Ricketts is still she just started getting, playing time with the first team squad in Washington. Jaden Shaw has had a major impact over there in San Diego. So it just goes to show you don't need to go to college to come in and make an impact right away. So I don't know when, obviously it's way too early to project when she would even play for the current on the first team, but I just love that we're stepping in that direction.
Oh yeah. When you mentioned the, kind of skipping college soccer to come here, it's a tough decision, right? Like people go do college for a couple years, kind of get their strength under them, maybe just to have the college experience. Some go straight pro. And dude, for women, I almost feel like, I don't know. I can waffle either way for the college experience or for the pro experience. But I feel like women have a higher, a faster clock because a lot of them would like to, have babies with their partner someday, maybe. Maybe that's a goal of theirs. Maybe it's not. But if that's what they want to do, then their playing career, they want to get it established. So they're at a young enough age to where they could take a break for that and potentially come back. I don't know. I'm just a man speaking out my ass. I have no idea.
I mean, I just like the fact that she's going to go practice every day against pros, right? She doesn't have to worry about developing through the age groups like you normally would. She's going up. She's going to have to guard, Vanessa DiBernardo or go up
Maybe
against.
DiBernardo's going to have to guard her that has the lungs of a 15-year-old. Think about that, dude.
That's not true. But to go in there, and she even mentioned it, learn from Dabinia, right?
Yeah, that's wild.
Go up against some national team players. Go try to score on AD Franch. Like, that's incredible. I just really can't wait to see how she progresses.
Well, you see other young players in the league, such as an Alyssa Thompson, and how she's really gelled and fit in there and gotten the national team World Cup squad, was on all sorts of automobile commercials and, fitness drink commercials, whatever. She was a part of this madness. And it's like, it shows it can be done. With the right marketing and everything, there's good young players that can come change this game.
Well, you look at Europe, right? Like, they don't have the college draft, teams in Europe. You look at men's soccer, obviously, in Europe. Like, they don't have college drafts. Like, they develop through academies. So, I mean,
yeah,
it's only fair, and it's about time that women have the same opportunity. I just hope my biggest concern is that they're protected, right?
Yeah.
And Kansas City is a great spot for that. But yeah, just when a young player plays professionally, you just want to make sure that they're protected in every capacity possible.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, like all of that stuff. I mean, I think about what an idiot I was at 15, just like not capable to do older stuff. You know what I mean? Just ridiculous. And I just, hope it's done the right way and handled with care.
Yeah.
Because as you remember, at the beginning of this season, when they had, I don't remember who it was now, but that story came out that she felt like she wasn't treated very well. It was a whole hell of an investigation and a topic, right?
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. That's all the KC current news, really. What else is there? There's you want to talk about draft thing or?
Yeah, we'll touch on the expansion draft. So right before we started to record, the expansion draft rules and procedures came out. So we haven't got a chance to actually look into the entire thing, but this is what was available right away. The draft is on December 15th. So that's when we will know essentially what 2 players are going to be leaving. The teams are permitted to protect a total of 9 players, and all other players must be unprotected. And this part's new, though. A team is permitted to protect 1 additional player after the first expansion team selects a player from its roster. So after an expansion team selects somebody from the current, we get to protect an additional player.
See, I always thought that once you have a player selected, no one else can be selected from your team.
You can
Is that just MLS?
It might be.
Okay.
A team cannot lose more than 2 players. So we can't lose more than 2 players.
Take 2.
Yeah.
God dang. And you can only protect 9.
Yeah. Only protect 9. And there's 12 rounds. 2 teams for 12 rounds. So you know that two players are going to be selected.
Yeah.
And I think December 12th, I'll take a look. December 12th is when teams have to submit their protected list. So,
okay.
Teams should know by then.
And by January 1st, teams have to disclose to the league any players who a team believes will be unavailable to play due to injury, retirement, loan, or any other reason, I guess.
Yeah. So the 12th is when the protected, unprotected list is distributed to all teams.
And the expansion draft is live on CBS Sports Network.
And it's remote as well.
December 15th, virtually. Bay FC and Utah Royals FC. Utah coming back into the league, and since we took our team back. Well, this will be fun, man. That's coming pretty fast, too. Month and a half away.
It is, and I hate it. I understand why there's an expansion draft. I just don't want to lose anybody.
And it happens in every league, right? Like, it's just what it is.
It is what it is. It's gut-wrenching when you have a player, like, let's say, Izzy Rodriguez is not protected. I'd be gutted if somebody took her.
See, that's one of those players that it's like, you'd like to protect her, but maybe you'll take a chance because you need to protect someone else, right? That is 100% someone that could be going out west to play.
Yeah.
God dang.
Unsigned, unrestricted, and restricted free agents are not eligible to be selected. So, like Sam Mewis, Mallory Weber, Desiree Scott, they're all unrestricted, unsigned. And then our 2 restricted free agents are Addison Merrick and Cassie Miller. Because we have the ability to negotiate and try to match another team's offer. So that's why they're unable to be selected.
Gotcha. Sweet. Okay.
Pretty wild stuff.
Yeah, we'll keep, things will heat up. Playoffs are picking back up this weekend. It will solidify the NWSL championship to be played the following week in San Diego. Stuff is good, man. It's exciting times.
And I got one last thing. The Ballon d'Or, the women's, happened. So let's see. Was it Bomita? I think won. Barcelona. Sorry, Bonmati. From Barcelona won. And by the way, did you see that Sophia Smith took 25th in the ranking?
Oh, wow. I did not.
There is not 24 players better than her in this world. There's not. And Dabinia took 28. There's not 27 better players than Dabinia.
Huh.
It's in my opinion, a clear like European bias.
You think so?
I mean,
I don't know, man. An MLS player just won the Ballon d'Or.
that's true.
Technically.
That's true. You are not wrong.
Not for anything he did in MLS, probably, but
Yeah. But I don't know. But I will say that the women's have like the Women's Champions League, right? They have more opportunities to prove themselves.
True.
If you do well in Challenge Cup, I don't think that carries as much weight, for this award. So I don't know. Maybe they got to do something like that to.
People are like, Challenge Cup. What kind of backyard game is that? What do you guys just put it on a field? What is that?
Yeah. Where a lot of
they're like, we don't know. We're actually going to cancel it.
This is why, if you had a North American tournament that had like, Mexican femenil players or something like that, I think that'd be really cool.
I mean, can they do like a U.S. Open Cup situation where like every women's team in the U.S. can like qualify for this thing? I mean, I love the U.S. Open Cup as part of the MLS season. I think it's awesome. I think it's fun to watch the teams that like anyone can enter, dude. Our rec league team could have entered. You just have to sign up, win some games, keep qualifying until you get to the big games. Like,
why haven't we?
Dude, some of those guys that we played with, I started to think like, whoa, these guys could do some damage against some people. Like they seem good. There was like a freaking beer league soccer team that was like sponsored by a liquor store that made it very far in the U.S. Open Cup. And I just think it'd be really cool to have something like that in women's soccer. Like anyone could do it, right?
I think as long as the money is there to help make it happen and just the scheduling and infrastructure, I don't see why not.
I mean, U.S. Soccer would have to get behind it. I mean, they're in charge of U.S. Open Cup. That's their baby,
Right.
So, interesting idea.
Yeah, we just need a bigger tournament to compete with something like the Champions League in Europe.
Yeah, agrees. I wish there were multiple competitions. I mean, going back to MLS, you have the Open Cup, you have Leagues Cup now, and then you have potential Champions League and MLS Cup. But now with NWSL, you have the NWSL playoffs, and that is it. I would really love another competition midway through the season or throughout the season like Challenge Cup was.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people are thinking about it. I'm sure the higher ups are talking about it. Like, it's important.
If you want to compete on the grand stage and you want to attract the best players around the world, you need to compete with that kind of thing.
No doubt. Or even a Leagues Cup situation with like some Mexican women's teams. That would be sweet.
That'd be great.
Cool, man. Anything else you're thinking of?
No, that is it for now, man.
Okay. Well, you got, this weekend, Sunday at 6, Portland and Gotham. Right after that, 8:30, San Diego and OL Reign. Could be fun. We'll see if our picks come true, and the finals will be solidified after that. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Even when there's no games to talk about, there's still some KC current stuff to touch on, as well as the NWSL playoffs. So, as always, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, 5-star rating and review, please. If it's on Spotify, leave us those 5 stars as well. Hit us up on Twitter, @NoOtherPod, @Dan Kooser, @Chris Wright 21, nootherpod@gmail.com, and we will be back next Wednesday. Same old goofy teal talk. We love you guys so much. Bye-bye.